Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lori, the face behind Entre Tejidos Crochet and Lori's Crafty Corner, where we talk about crochet, yarn, scrapbooking, and just about a little bit of everything. Today's video will have everything I made in the month of June and the sort of little update that I gave my plant wall, which is where I usually take photos and film some reels of my plushies. So let's get started with the first and she's not done. There we go. This is Ava the Ostrich and the pattern is by Siregismo. This pattern, it is really well written. There's a lot of details in it. You do have to sew quite a bit, but I don't mind sewing, so yeah. Plus, I have not seen an ostrich pattern quite like this. I did make turtles during the month of June, and I'm gonna start off with mine. So I made 3 turtles. I just need to do their little stack. So I call them the Turtle Sisters. This one, the largest one, is Tirana, and she has a sophisticated lacy bonnet. Standard one, she was actually the first one that I designed. This one is Tara. There we go. And then the little baby, I'm just a baby, is Taranet. The way that I envision them is that Tirana is the big sister, and then you have Tara and Taranet being the baby sister. Of these patterns are available on my Etsy. They also come in a bundle where you can get the 2 smaller ones in one, and then another bundle where you can get all 3 of them, as well as like their individual patterns. They each have their own unique hat, just like that. And in the pattern, I have written out the same, they don't have the same frill, but you can mix and match. So Tirana's frill kind of looks like flower petals, but I incorporated those instructions so that if you have Tara and you want to add a flower frill, you can very well do so. The same thing here. This is Tara's edging. It's slightly more ruffled. So again, you can make this ruffle on Tara, Tirana, or Taranet. And then Taranet's ruffle is like that bumpy ruffle. Kind of almost looks like the edging on a beanie. I made turtles with hats, which I'm excited because they're just too adorable. Let's talk a little bit of about safety eyes. These are mine. These are called the Blue Stars eyes, and it's like the background is blue and it has some purple and blue chunky glitter and some stars as well, and the stars are multicolored because I made more turtles. I pattern tested these 2 raspberry turtles for Handmade Crochet by AV, and I just love them. The first one I made was like the traditional raspberry color, but I just had to do a blue raspberry one, and I mean, it's too adorable. It's just too adorable. I love her. But then again, I love all the turtles by Handmade Crochet by AV, and I love making turtles, and I love turtles, and you kind of can't guess. Like, who would have known that I like turtles? I made a lotus turtle. The pattern is also by Handmade Crochet by AV. This is her mini lotus turtle. This is a rose turtle. The pattern is by Handmade Crochet by AV. She has 2 rose turtle patterns. This is the bigger one. She also has a mini, but the rose petals on the mini one are done slightly different. But I mean, this is just stunning. And since we're on the topic of turtles, it's a cookie turtle. This one is like so adorable. Some of the other testers made like a rainbow chocolate chip cookie. They made like macadamia red velvet cookies. At the moment, I was inspired by a chocolate chip peanut butter cookie, and this is why I made it like that. He's just too adorable. I pattern tested for Chanel's Crochet, and this is her chunky dino pattern. I mean, he is le chunk. He is mega chunky. His eyes are by me, and I used Parfait Chunky in Rock Candy and in the neon color as well. The spots are totally optional because you add them on after you're done with him. I honestly just wanted to make like 1 or 2, but I couldn't stop myself, so I made quite a bit all around. And it's so, if you go like that, it's like so bumpy, and so I love him. I love him. But then again, I say that I love all my plushies because I do love all my plushies. I'm gonna need a bigger house in order to store each of them. But sadly, I don't have another house. So on that topic, if you're interested in grabbing any of the plushies that you've seen me mention in today's video and in previous Everything I Made videos, check out my Etsy because I just did a major drop of over, I would say nearly 70 plushies, plus a shawl, plus some scrunchies have been listed on my Etsy, where you can, like, if you see one that's like, I need it, hopefully it's still there and you can grab it. This adorable jellyfish, and the pattern is by KS Crochet Critters. She's the one who designed that adorable alligator pattern, and I was so thrilled that she picked me to test for her. This octopus comes with 4 different tentacle options. I did 2 of each, so because when I see jellyfish, I envision like their tentacles are not all the same. Not all of them are curly, some are like bunched up. So I wanted to have, like, you know, a little bit of everything. But this is not part of the pattern, I added a few like straighter tentacles just to like fill him up. But honestly, the way the pattern is written, you don't need to add anything else. I just like being extra and adding things into it. This is Magical Dreams. These are like the dark blue eyes that I make that have little Mickeys in them. He is staring into your soul. I also made an octo, and I pattern tested for Handmade Crochet by Ave. This is her octo, and I used Lion Brand Cover Story for the yarn. And these eyes are from 3J's Handcrafts. Maddie's Crochet Corner, if I'm not mistaken. As always, all the patterns will be linked in the description box below. If I mention a particular safety eye or something, I'll just link the like the place where I got them. But this is her. Some of these designers come up with like the cutest names, but I can't remember. I just call him the Happy Frog because I added this felt mouth to him. The eyes are by 3J's Handcrafts, and I just used a little bit of my cotton yarn to add like that little flower there. But he's just so adorable. He has like even like a little tummy. Or it could be that I like adding tummies to my plushies. Hang on to your seat. These are too adorable. These are Tommy the Tardigrades. Tardigrades are water bears or sea bears. I think mostly water bears. I know about water bears because I used to watch Octonauts with my sons, and they encounter some water bears. This pattern is by Hooks and Healers. Look at just this neon one is like stunning. And I also, the first one I made was like the red one, and then I made another one using the neon color. And the other two that I made are these. These are Buster the Buffalo, and I made these as I revamped the buffalo pattern. I don't think I'm gonna sell him. I'm going to probably keep him. Yeah, I am gonna keep him. And I made it with Parfait Chunky, and this is Lion Brand Go for Faux. Yeah, like that. I always mix up that name. It's I sometimes call it like Go for Faux or Go Faux Fur. But yeah, it was so easy to use, and it's like really fluffy. This one with Little Bunny. I did have to double strand Little Bunny in order for it to look this plush, because I was using a 5mm crochet hook, and Little Bunny is thinner than Parfait Chunky, so that's why I doubled it up. It's like my tongue took a vacation. I doubled it up so that I could didn't have to like size down and have like some of the parts look weird. And the last one that I'm going to show you was actually the last one I made. I think I really finished him like June 29th. And this was a pattern test for Mostly Ghostly Crochets or Mostly Ghostly Crafts. She has a brilliant brain. She merged a catfish, and an axolotl. Yeah, like, look. In the tester group, some of the testers were making it in blanket yarn and in like Sweet Snuggles, and those turned out huge, because this is in Parfait Chunky with a 5mm crochet hook, and it's, I would guess, like almost 12 inches long from like the tip of the nose and the tail. So wow, right? And I used, this is Premier's eyelash yarn, and I used 3 strands of it because first of all I couldn't decide on like the color that I wanted to use, and then when I was like, oh, I'll just use eyelash yarn because it's like fluffy and it's awesome, and you know, but it's very thin and it was going to look stringy if I just used one strand. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough in the skein to actually double strand it. So what I did is I grabbed all 3 colors of eyelash yarn that I have. It was turquoise, raspberry, and spicy lime. I triple stranded them. After I finished adding all of this, I just grabbed a brush, brushed it out, and here you go. The eyes are by me, the same blue stars one. Can you tell I kind of have a favorite? So yeah, I do. I kind of have a favorite. So yeah, in total, 20. 19 and 20 you haven't seen here because they were gifted away before I had a chance to show you here. But yeah, stay tuned because now we're gonna see what the update is for my plant wall. I downsized. I probably shouldn't have waited too much for like giving them some tender love and care, because when I went to check them, some of them were sick. Some of them had like this fungus on them, or I don't know, something got into them and they were downsized quite a bit. But that's all good because I get to go and grab some new plants. Hopefully I want to add some more like flower plants. Like like I want to add some orchids. I know my mom told me that she was going to give me like an orchid that belonged to my grandma who passed away back in December. So I'm waiting for that, and yeah, I kind of want to add some more flowers to it so that it's pretty, and that since that's where I take most of my final photos, you know, it just needs to be pretty so that the pictures come out pretty. Here we go, let's go outside. This is what I was able to do. Hey, today's video will probably have a little bit of plant care, and then like a before and an after, so stay tuned. Before, we have 3 plants up there. We have these over here and here, and then we just have like an eclectic collection of plants at the bottom. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna move that big cactus somewhere else, and then kind of rearrange, hopefully also rearrange some of the plants here so it looks more cohesive. And it's just something that I like to do from time to time, just so that my pictures don't look exactly the same. Okay, so this is what I was able to do. I removed some of the empty flower pots, and then I consolidated a few of them. If they were like small enough, I just put them in the same flower pot. And I tried to reorganize some of my drapey, Amy, some of my, she's drinking water, some of my draping plants so that, you know, they're not all together. And then the lower part, I moved some of the plants because I'm going to place them somewhere else around the house. So yeah, that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. Find me on the socials. Take a look at the patterns listed down below. If you want, go and visit my Etsy shop. And yeah, I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!